Welcome back to Hook, Line and Sinker in studio. It's a special edition of the show with Das having Wi-Fi in Bali that stinks. Jev, round 17, welcome.
It's good to be back. It's good to be in Oklahoma City, kids, and have Chet Holmgren live in studio with us. We're up and about.
Old Spindles.
Spindles. Oh, no. Hook, Line, Sinker from 100K HQ. Very excited. Rather than Zencaster, we can't trust Das's Wi-Fi as far as we can throw him, so...
Which is not far.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
So Hook, Line and Sinker, the show where we get a hook for the week, which is your best leg on a Thursday and Friday night, the early games, Jev. The lines, we'll go through the lines of each game, just do a bit of a preview, and then a sinker, one to stay away from.
Yep.
So first game is Richmond-Sydney. So both sides come into this 6-8-1 record, Jev, after the Swans' unbelievable draw last week. The line, what's your thoughts?
It's got to be... It should be both teams paying $1.80, and it should be pick 'em, I reckon. It should be minus 0.5. What do you reckon, Pring?
I'd say 2.5. I reckon the line's 2.5.
Who's favourite?
To Richmond.
It is Sydney plus 5.5. So Richmond being favourites.
Okay.
Jeez, I'd gobble this. The Swans are going to beat them head to head. Bud's last game at the MCG, Morg. See, if you want my hook right now, Bud to kick 2, potentially 3. Noah Bolter to fuck up, give him a free kick. But I'm all over the Swans and Buddy to kick 2. What can I get for the $1.30 leg, please, Lou?
So I can give you Richmond plus 13.5
Yep.
or Sydney plus 23.5.
So what I've learned from this show with Das is the home team with points is usually the right side to go, but I'm going to take every one of those Swans points. Those 23.5 points. I don't think Richmond are that good. They don't really blow teams out that much. I'll take the 23.5. Pring, what are you going to take?
I'm going the opposite. You've made a lot of noise about Richmond this week, and yeah, I think I got to go against you. I don't think the Swans are that good. They were horrendous against Geelong last week, so yeah, I think Richmond will bounce back.
Horrendous is a bit stiff. We were actually really good. We just didn't kick straight. We actually pumped Geelong. We just didn't kick straight.
Bad kicking's bad football.
Well,
bro, you make your own multi as well if you can.
I love having here someone to go against you though, Jev.
No, I agree. But no, Richmond's probably the right side to be on. A home team with points, me and Das have learned, is just the side to be on. But I think 23.5, I don't think the Tigers are that good. 23.5 is heaps. Is Dusty playing? Yeah, he was crook last week.
Yeah,
so
Dusty's playing.
I'll be there. It's Bud's last game of the G. I'm taking the Swans plus 23.5.
You've gone at Richmond's midfield all year too.
No, they're midfield. They're young talent. Yeah. I reckon they don't have one even close to A grader that's 23 and under. Like as I say, I think West Coast is going to win a final before Richmond.
It's huge.
Yeah, that's a big call.
Yeah, and I stand on it.
So split down the middle, one for Richmond, one for Sydney.
Let's go.
Probably match of the round, Friday night, Bulldogs, Collingwood.
Marvel Stadium.
I'd
have to say, the Pies have to be favourite, but it can't be by that much. I'm just going to say a goal, 6.5 points.
I'd say Pies 10.5.
You're a good man, 10.5. 10.5 is the line at the home of goals.
Pies, 10.5. Right. What can I get for $1.30, Lee?
I'll give you Collingwood plus 8.5, Dogs plus 28.5.
I think having the Dogs with 28 at Marvel is the right side to be on, but you haven't lost one time this year having Collingwood with points, apart from Brisbane at the Gabba in like round 4. So I'm going to take the Pies with points. They don't get blown out. They always keep games close. Even if they lose, it's always close. So I'll take the 8.5 for the Pies. Pring.
Yeah, I'm Pies as well. I think the Dogs are a bit suspect when they come up against a good team. So yeah, I'm taking the Pies as well.
Let's go.
Love that. It should be. I should explain it for YouTube, Jev. So Das and Jev usually they get the $1.30 leg. So whatever the handicap is that you can get for $1.30 each side, they then multi all 9 legs of those $1.30s in. And what's the closest you got? You've gone 8 from 9, haven't you, Jev?
Yeah, last week I had Melbourne head-to-head against GWS, and that was my only losing. Actually, no, I had St Kilda minus 30.5. That lost as well. But I was alive going into the last 2 games of the weekend for the whole weekend and was a bit stiff.
So
but it's unbelievable that you can't hit $9.30 legs. There's always a game that costs
such a tight league this year.
Yeah, it's so tight. So points are definitely the right way to go. But yes.
First of Saturday, so our first leg of the 100K.
This is the most interesting line of the year.
Brisbane versus West Coast up in Brisbane. Can West Coast muster together 2 decent performances? Brisbane are yet to drop a game at the Gabba.
Right, so I know Brisbane head-to-head are $1.005, which is absolutely fucked. So I reckon it has to be 10 goals. I'm going to say 60.5. Ring?
I reckon 72.5. It's got to be over 10.
It's 12 goals.
Neither is enough. It's 82.5.
Wow.
Oh my God.
That is a lot of points.
Probably fair.
Yeah, 100% it's fair. As me and Dar said last week, what would West Coast for you to bet a substantial amount of money, Pring, on West Coast, what would their line have to be? It'd have to be 140.
Against
Brisbane. It'd have to be 140. Plus 140 for you to go, right, I'll have 500 on that.
What's substantial for you?
Well, you tell me. $1,000. If you'd have $1,000.
I'd have to be, 120 plus.
Fuck it. I can't believe that's 82. That is so much. What are we getting for $1.30?
So I don't know why. I don't know if this is just because West Coast are playing. Sportsbet aren't doing it yet.
Oh, right.
So yeah, they're not giving us pick your
you
own.
Can't get pick your own.
Yeah,
line.
so I don't know if
Right
that's fishy or not, but it is what it is.
So it's gonna take Brisbane down to about 60 and a half, so 10 goals.
Yeah.
And you're probably gonna get about 110 and a half for West Coast. That is unbelievable. Unbelievable. And what side would you be on if that's it? 60 or 110? I'd take the Lions. I know West Coast played well last week, but you think they played 4:40 Sunday in Perth, and now they're playing early game in the at the Gabba. They just kick
I sort of feel because it's a day game that they might be a little bit
They were
better.
so bad against the Swans when they travelled. And
Swans is a tough deck, though.
Brisbane just came off a Friday night, so they're on an 8-day break, and beat Richmond by 70 points. They won by 71 points. They won by 81 points. It was the same margin as the grand finals, the same score as the grand final. No, I'll take the Lions. If I'm getting 10 goals for the Lions, I'm taking the Lions.
So if we get it, it'll be bet 110. You're taking the Lions.
Yeah.
Pring.
I'd have to take West Coast at
Yeah,
110. Surely.
So I'd be taking Brisbane minus 60 and a half. You're taking West Coast at 110.
They'll run Adam Simpson out of the country if they lose by
Yeah, you're not wrong.
points.
Here you go.
Jeez, I can see it though.
What do you got?
59 and a half for Brisbane.
Oh, you got it now.
Oh, that's
that's
a three-quarter
quarters.
timeline.
Yeah, you can't get it.
Nah.
Next game is GWS versus Hawthorn. The line, Jev. It's at GWS.
GWS at home. I think they're going to win, but it can't. They're a good side, but they always play teams close. I reckon it can't be much more than 18 and a half points, Pring.
I feel it's going to be more than what it should be.
Yeah.
I don't see the Hawks at $4.35. 16 and a half.
16, what did you have?
18.
28 and a half.
Wow, that's a lot.
So one of the most sneaky informed teams in the comp. So they beat Geelong at Cardinia, kicked 104 in a narrow loss to Richmond, beat North, smashed Freo, and last week beat Melbourne.
Yeah, they have won 4 out of the last 5. They're so, but they never.
When they lose, they don't get blown out. They never get blown out.
But also, they played Hawks early in the year, and remember it took them to like the last minute to win.
Yeah,
It took a Toby Green 20-4 game or something. Jeez, what can I get for
where was that? Was that in
That was
Launceston?
in Tassie, yeah. Tassie. Do you remember that game? Oh,
Yeah.
So I reckon this is a bit deceiving, I reckon. So GWS for $1.30 is minus 10.5. Hawthorn plus 48.5. I reckon that seems skewed.
Oh, God.
I'm taking the Hawks.
You're taking the Hawks?
48 and a half's a lot.
Bro, so what? Like, I go against it a little bit, but
Jeez, this is a horrible multi on my side, looking at the names.
I'm going to take... like what me and Das would do right now would just take GWS to win at $1.22 in our multi.
Pick 'em.
Yeah.
Minus those.
Yeah, I like
don't
that.
even worry about the
No, I
9.5
rate that.
points and not worry about that. I'm just going to take GWS to win at $1.22. Just win the
I rate
game.
that.
I don't want any points. I just wanted to see him win, and I think that's the better side to be on. So I'll take the Giants to win at home.
I'll stick with the Hawks.
Stick with the Hawks,
Love
48
it.
and a half.
Plus
I like
48.5.
that. Jeez, these lines are hard this week.
Yeah, this is good. Next game is St Kilda versus Melbourne. So both teams sitting inside the top 5, but I'd probably say that they both concede they're not playing great footy. The line, Jev.
Well, it depends if they've allowed for... We're finding out right now Clayton Oliver's not playing. I'm going to say Melbourne are favourites, but it wouldn't be that much. I reckon it's only 10 and a half. They don't kick goals, Melbourne.
Yeah, 12 and a half for me.
Oh, that's good. Get 13.5.
There you go. Melbourne 13 and a half. So,
God,
I'd
first
pro-
time on the show. I've been closer to the pin.
yeah, it's because you're looking at the head-to-head line. I don't even look.
Call it closer to the pin.
New name for the show next season.
That's not bad.
I'd lean with not even knowing the $1.30. I'd be leaning St Kilda way. They defend, and Melbourne can't kick goals. They don't have Bailey Fritsch anymore. So 13 and a half is golden. What can I get for $1.30?
So $1.30 you can get St Kilda plus 30.5 or Melbourne plus 4.5.
That's one of the ones. I reckon both are going to win. I think Melbourne are going to win the game, but I'm going to take the Saints I'm going to take the Saints plus 30.5. If I were to tell you, there's more likely the Saints get blown out or more likely the Saints win the game, what would you take? I think it's more like the Saints win the game than get blown out because Melbourne can't kick goals as it is and Bailey Fritsch is out. I'm taking the 30.5 Pring. What
I
about
think
you?
Saints are just on a spiral. So,
You reckon they're going down?
Yeah,
Don't worry about their midfield,
I
Jeff.
think they're going to miss the 8. So I'm backing in Melbourne. Like they need to bounce back after
You're just
last week.
taking Melbourne head to head.
Yeah.
Yeah, Melbourne head to head are $1 for. Oh yeah, because you get an extra 4 points. So plus 4.5. You're taking the.
Yeah, I'll take plus 4.5.
Yeah, nice.
For what it's worth, I'd hammer Melbourne plus 4.5.
Would ya?
Yep. Saints are the worst midfield in the comp, Jev, as you told us.
But they're a very good structured defense, and Melbourne can't kick goals.
I like that.
5 goals is golden.
No, it's well measured from you.
Thanks.
Next game, Port Adelaide versus Gold Coast. Port on a club record 12-game winning streak after Dan Houston's bomb last week, which sees him in second spot on the ladder on percentage.
I reckon we'll agree on this one, Pring. I reckon this line is going to be blown too much out of proportion. I'm going to say Port by I'm going to say 5 goals, 30.5.
Yeah, 28.5.
Jev on it, 30.5.
30.5.
God, you get good value for Gold Coast at $1.30.
Yeah, especially so. Before I even
Great value.
It's a fucking tough one. But as me and Price were speaking earlier, we think Gold Coast are a real emotional team.
Yeah.
They're going to play for Stewie G, so I would already lean that Gold Coast way.
Took Miller back.
Tuke Miller's back. Porter are a very good side at home. So what can we get for $1.30?
So Port minus 12.5, $1.30. Gold Coast plus 67.5.
Give me Gold Coast.
I'm going to.
Any
11 goals.
I probably think both win, but
Pricey's already penciling in.
I'm going to take that
That's all.
Gold Coast line as well.
Yeah,
What is
that's
it,
a lot of
Gold
points.
Coast?
67.5.
I just think they always say
Nah,
you've
it's
got to
not
drop
67.
one. You need a loss.
It's 49.5 though.
Jeez, it's gone out. Someone's hammered it in the last
Yeah,
hour.
Gold Coast plus 49.5 right here at $1.29.
There's a leak.
So like,
Before I said it.
nah, so it's only Gold Coast. So that nearly changed mine. 49.5. I still think they cover 50 points. They
Yeah.
can't lose by 10 goals with Tuke back in the side.
Like Port are good, but they nearly lost to Essendon last week.
Yeah, he took a goal off the sign. Yeah, I'm taking that Gold Coast line.
Gold
50
Coast are up and down like a yo-yo.
Yeah.
And with Caro coming out in the week saying Stewie Jew's
Getting
time's
fired.
numbered, the players love him.
Yeah.
They have to bounce back this week. Otherwise, he is getting fired.
Shout out to the bloke that just had 12 bones on the Gold Coast. Yeah, what a huge bet from the boy. Your boys Pring Geelong versus North Melbourne. So this is 12 versus 13th, I think.
This is unbelievable because it's a GMHBA, so the line should be 60.5. But the Cats aren't going that well. But I'm going to stick at 60.5. Pring, what do you reckon?
Yeah, no, I rate that.
You reckon 60.5?
Yeah, 60.5.
I reckon your logic was good. Plus 48.5.
Yeah. So it should be 60.
To
The
North.
Cats are seriously going average. So
And North have
there's
been
2 goals.
competitive, and you'd say North's
have a crack.
midfield's better than Geelong's at
But
the moment.
this, when the Cats beat the Swans by 94 points, if Jeremy Cameron plays, this screams a 110 points.
Coming off a pretty bad concussion, though.
Yeah. Oh, isn't Alistair Clarkson coaching this game?
Oh, they said he's back at the club, but the fun uncle Brett Rabbit's still
Uncle
hanging
Rat.
around.
Uncle Rats.
That's the
How good was that?
Which means they play with the shackles off. What can I get for $1.30, Lee?
So I'll give you the minus 29.5 for Geelong and North. I've forgotten it. So we'll have to elbow that in.
I'll tell
no,
you-
I
I'll
get
tell
it
you
up.
what it is.
We'll cut that out.
No, all good. It's plus 67.5 for North. I think the Cats at home. is
I
the
think
side
they
to bet
both
on.
win, but yeah, I'm taking the Cats.
What are we getting the Cats at again? Sorry, minus
It was roughly,
minus 29.5.
Yeah.
It's I think, and it's just in that Clarko's just selling records.
Is that what he's doing?
Cut that.
No, that's
We got to
good.
bring some life to this show.
No, this is good.
All right, next show. Next game. Essendon Adelaide. Essendon's most important game all year. Both Essendon locked on 32 points at the home of goals, Marvel.
Fuck. It's got to be Pick'em. It's got to be just head to head. $1.80, $1.80. Yeah, minus 2.5 to Essendon.
I'd say Adelaide 2.5.
Minus 2.5.
Minus
You think
2.5.
Adelaide the favourites?
Yeah.
Yeah, Essendon 2.5.
Essendon
Okay.
2.5. Essendon favourites.
I couldn't believe it either.
We're going to tell you what side I'm leaning on. Even though Adelaide don't travel that well, I absolutely love them. I love their ability to win games. They play every game close. They're well coached. They've got the best captain in the league nearly.
I love their list and what they're about, and I think like Zerk Thatcher, who's going to kick 4 on him? Like, they've got like 4 or 5
Line
blokes
up, you reckon?
Genuinely, it'll be like.
It sounds like we're in agree. What can we get for
Well,
$1.30?
yeah, I reckon the bookies will absolutely feast on Adelaide all year because everyone just loves them so much and probably loves to bet on them. So the line is Essendon plus 16.5 or Adelaide plus 21.5.
Yeah, so 21.5 is golden for the Crows. They're not getting blown out by Essendon.
Nah, no
They're
way.
not getting blown out by Essendon. And Essendon plus 16.5 probably wins as well. Like, it's going to be a good game of footy.
And when the
Marvel.
whips are cracking, the Bombers, like, they'll capitulate.
I'm glad you said
Genuinely, they do.
I was going to say it, but you said it. So we're both agreeing Adelaide plus 21.5. I love that league. Let's go.
Love it. Leaky Peddler for 1. Last game to finish off, the 440 in Perth. Can we end the 440s in Perth, for God's sake? Freo Carlton, Blues coming in with no ruckman against Jackson and Darcy, so you got to factor that
If
in.
you didn't say that, I wouldn't even know what to
What,
go.
TDK's not getting up?
Well, we're
I
not
don't
sure
think,
yet, but going into it, of course, spring on a Wednesday, we have to say no.
Has he been flown over? It is Wednesday.
Unsure. I think he's driving the Nullarbor.
He's driving.
Yeah.
That's tight hips.
Which is why you know.
Oh, what do you got for me? Oh, so I got to get the line. Righto. Freo, saying that, I actually wouldn't have thought, but Freo have to be favourites. Can't be that much. I'm going to say goals, 6.5.
Freo will be favourites, but I don't know if they should be. They're so up and down.
So you
But
reckon-
Carlton are Carlton, so maybe 4.5 to Freo in Perth.
6.5 Freo favourites.
That's another one spot on, Jeff.
Close to the pin.
Came home pretty strong, Bree. It's been a
5-4.
hard one. Ever since you said that, it actually fully changed my opinion. I was definitely leaning Carlton way, but Freo are bloody good in Perth. What can I get for $1.30, Lou?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Do you want me to tell you?
No, I got it. So Freo plus 12.5, Carlton plus 25.5.
Carlton always play well. One thing I know
we
about
like-
Das.
We like Perth.
One thing I know about Das, they
That's the
always
Jackie
play
Nunes after the siren, isn't it?
But even at Subi, we played well. We should have won the final there where we got the Walker pushing the back.
Yeah.
Remember with Funkle Rats, that
Well.
was
And Optus Stadium, Charlie Kerner kicked 9 earlier this year.
Yep.
I
We
know
love
it was against
Perth.
West Coast. You love going over there.
Cripsy's a Freo
What side
boy.
are you taking?
I'm Carlton.
You taking Carlton?
Yep. I think Carlton's coming.
Nah, I
Jesus.
can see.
I'm just saying. That's a
Don't say it.
That's you
Don't
up.
say it.
I'm going to take Freo. I'm going to take the home team with points. 12.5, 2 goals. Sean Darcy is a fucking good ruckman. Like, he dominates games with ruck work. Luke Jackson's in good form.
I hope the
And
Cats
I
throw the kitchen sink
I
at him.
still think Carlton are a little bit suspect. They've had 2 good weeks.
Yeah,
Ever since we met
definitely.
Pat Cripps, I can see their change in mental philosophy, the Blues. Like, they're playing a bit more
Yeah,
freer
for sure.
and stuff. But I'm going to take Freo plus 12.5 at home. But, geez, I hate betting on Freo.
I think you're right. We've played Gold Coast and Hawthorn.
Yeah.
So you got to.
But I think Freo's under pressure.
you're right.
Like Carlton, they probably know they're not going to make finals, so you know there's no pressure to perform anymore, and it looks like they're having fun.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So I can see them getting the win, and I reckon they'll cover 30 odd points.
Righto, so your multi. So I got Swans plus 23.5.
I got Tigers.
Collingwood plus 8.5.
Yep, I've gone same.
I'm going to be taking Brisbane minus 60.5. If it is, you're going to take West Coast.
West Coast 120.
GWS head to head. I went
I've gone Hawks.
Hawks plus what?
I think it was plus 29.5.
I'm taking St Kilda plus 30.5.
I'm going
Melbourne
No, I'm going D's.
plus 4.5. Is
Yep,
it?
plus 4.5.
I'm taking Gold Coast plus 49.5.
Yep, I'm with you.
I'm taking Geelong minus 29.5.
Yep, agreed.
I am taking Adelaide plus 21.5. Agreed.
Yep.
And I'm taking Freo plus 12.5.
And I'm taking the Blues 29.5.
I'm getting $8.78 for that multi. It will bump up to over $10 once we add the West Coast leg.
Of course.
The Brisbane for me, West Coast for you leg.
9.45 for me.
Yeah, 9.45. And then,
That juices up to about 11.
So the 11.
hey, good show. You got a sinker for the weekend.
Eric Hipwood to kick more than 2 goals.
You
I
got-
Stay
think
away.
Everybody thinks they'll get a lick of the ice cream against West Coast, but yeah, I don't think Eric Hipwood will
That's a
get
great
goals.
sinker.
Yeah.
Wow. No, I don't have one. Noah Bolter to do something stupid on Buddy. Buddy to kick 2.
I'll have old tight hips to Koning not to make it. He's stuck in Kalgoorlie.
Seat was too far to the dashboard.
Kalgoorlie.
He's gone north. Hey, what a show. I reckon this is more of a Zencaster show, this one.
100%. It's a bit weird live in studio, isn't it?
That's all right. Hey, we got it out, though. We got it out for the fans.
Some serious crap when we're on the Zencaster.
This will be out Thursday morning, 100K Friday morning. The show goes on. And Frank and Coach on the 100K show.
He's here this week. So
hey, you're a good egg.
Hey, good work.
Cheers.
Cheers. I didn't get an intro.
Chet Holmgren.